A name that San Francisco 49ers fans haven't heard from in a long time is actually back in the news today. If you guys remember, Jalen Hurd, former 49ers legends, of course, I'm joking around a little bit with the legendary part, but we do remember Jalen Hurd and how much hype surrounded him after his 2 touchdown performance against the Dallas Cowboys in his rookie season prior to getting injured. After that point on of getting injured, we never really saw from Jalen Hurd really get an opportunity to showcase that talent that we were able to see in training camp and in those preseason games prior to him getting injured, because it was just an ongoing situation of him getting hurt. But Jalen is back in the news today, and it does appear, according to Ari from My Sports Update, that Jalen Hurd had a tryout today with the Texans, of course. Who's the head coach for the Texans? It's D'Amico Ryans. And D'Amico Ryans had been with the San Francisco 49ers since 2017. He was on the staff when they drafted Jalen Hurd and obviously got to see firsthand what Jalen Hurd was capable of. Obviously, Jalen's issues were never really around talent. From what we were able to see in that 2 touchdown performance, that really was one of the most hyped performances that we have ever seen in some time. It allowed Jalen a long leash on the roster for a couple years, even though never seeing the field and dealing with multiple injuries. Of course, D'Amico Ryans knows this player extremely well and what he was able to accomplish. But it'll be interesting to see if Jalen Hurd actually lands on the roster, if they sign him, if he becomes a player that the Texans actually go after and try to get something out of him. I personally believe that if Jalen Hurd got the opportunity, obviously being healthy and ready to go, that would be phenomenal for him. I'm someone who really doesn't hold injuries against specific players. I know that it's football, right? Football is 100% guaranteed you're going to get injured. It's just to what severity and how often. Obviously, we understand in the NFL, your greatest ability is availability, and that was Jalen Hurd's biggest issue with the San Francisco 49ers. We'll see. Do they add him to the practice squad? Do they bring him in to be a part of the 90-man roster for the Texans? We'll find out. But again, this is a name we haven't heard from in a long time. It would be interesting though to see, like, would you potentially, now that we're thinking about it and we're talking about it and considering the hype that Jalen Hurd did have at one point amongst the 49ers fan base, would you consider maybe bringing him in for a little tryout? Maybe add him to the 90 man? Maybe a little practice squad action? I don't know. It would be it would be quite the experience, I would say, on 49ers social media. I think, from the comments that we've seen on my Instagram posts and things like that, genuinely people want the best for Jalen, again, because they know he didn't have success in the league due to injury. And it's hard to really fault a guy for just dealing with reoccurring injuries that didn't allow him to see the field. By all accounts, he seemed like a good dude, was low key, didn't say a whole lot, but we saw what he was capable of. And with Deebo Samuel and him drafted in the same year, it felt like the 49ers could potentially have a special combo right there with Hurd and Deebo. Both of them being physical runners. Obviously, we know Jalen Hurd was a former running back at Tennessee. Then when he transferred to Baylor, he transitioned to wide receiver as well. So he has a bit of that wide back ability as that we saw from Deebo Samuel throughout his career. So, I mean, it would be a fantastic talking point, I would say, amongst 49ers creators and amongst social media to see Jalen Hurd return. But I don't know. You tell me. Do you think that is even something that's going to cross Kyle Shanahan's mind? I'm assuming that ship has sailed. But hey, you never know. things happen in the NFL that you potentially believe would never occur, and hey, sometimes it happens. So let me know. Do you think Jalen Hurd should be given another shot? One, by the rest of the league and the Texans, but should Kyle Shanahan's ears be perking up a little bit? Maybe. I don't know. Again, you let me know in the comments below, and of course, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.